Right, so carrying on. A quick mention of these, although they were in the video I did with Ruth. Kate Somerville Clinic to Go. These are much more intense. These are 2 or 3 times a week. And you do this. Oh my God, why can't I? Like that, you peel that off and you go across the same way I showed you before. These are lovely. They give good sting. When I say sting, what I mean is if you have an open spot and you use this on it, it will sting. Don't worry about it. The burning is burning is never good. You don't want that sort of horrible, ow, but a very quick, is not to be worried about. Some people will say, no, it's really dangerous for the skin and it's going to do so much damage. No, it's going to kill off the bacteria. It's going to, if it stings, there's blood flow. And if it's a spot, it will help kill off the bacteria, help it heal, and hopefully prevent it from scarring. Acid, spot, again, you don't have to do the sound effect. 2 other pads that I haven't used as much, but I'm asked about, so I must make sure I put them in. One is more popular with the boys in the house, and that's Malin & Gertz, because it's a very boyish range, although it's completely asexual. These pads, and they're 10% glycolic, are very similar to Origin's Brighter by Nature, which are fruit acid pads, in that these 2 are textured. In fact, they could be. The Origins ones are thicker, the Malin & Gertz ones are a bit floppier. These are quite hardcore, these are a bit softer, and it does make a difference. Someone commented when I put a picture of these on Instagram that I was testing them and said, God, they felt really rough on my skin. So with bearing that in mind, you might find if you're male that these work better for you. And it's not the whole thing about men's skin is different from women's, but if you're a shaver and you have beard, no. If you shave and have a beard, or you have ingrown hairs, these would be good for you because you want something with a bit more oomph to be able to really buff, and it will help prevent ingrown hairs. As a side note, ladies, if you are a waxing kind of girl, you could do much worse for yourself than to take these and to maybe use them in the lady garden area to stop ingrown hairs there too. But maybe we'll move on before I put you off your dinner. And then, okay, so after the Malin & Gertz, 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 Origins, that I can say. Peter Thomas Roth. Now, Peter Thomas Roth is a very active range. It's not the range for you if you're into organic. He will throw a chemical at it even if it's a tomato. I don't have a problem with that. Some of it's a bit too harsh for me. Some of it's amazing. This is one of the amazing ones. 60 pads. This is 20% complex of alpha, beta, gamma, exfoliators, amino acids, blah, 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 blah. Unwrinkled peel pads. I bought these in Sephora in the States. You can get them in the UK, I think from Beauty Bay, I think. These are hardcore, uber duper, probably one of the stronger ones up there with this. And because I can get these easier than I can get this, sadly, I do use these a lot. It says that you would use them and then you would neutralise it with water. I don't go into the bathroom and splash my face. I will then spritz so I did the action for you then in case you didn't know what spritz meant. I will then spritz one of my layering toners or a moisturising or a hydrating toner on top, and that neutralises it. So these are brilliant. I'll put more details in the blog. And then this one is fragrance free, alcohol free, dye free. I really hope you can't see what's going on below here. I'm sitting almost in a yogi something position in shorts, and I'm sure it's not very attractive, but let's not look. Benzoic acid, salicylic acid, normal combination and oily skin types. I do wish brands would stop saying that you can only really use acid toners on the skin if you're oily or combination. Nonsense. They're brilliant for dry skin, they're brilliant for older skins, they're brilliant for teenage skins. Embrace the acid. This does have the hang on, benzoic acid and salicylic acid. So this one will say, after you've washed daily with Peter Thomas Roth cleanser, let it dry naturally, finish and treat with and then use your sunscreen. When I did one of my very first skin routines with Ruth, an American viewer was horrified that I hadn't applied SPF after I'd used, in the skincare routine, after I'd used exfoliating acids. And it was because I don't generally apply a separate SPF, but there is always SPF in my skincare or makeup somewhere. I'm not advocating not using it, I'm just saying use it wisely, which is a whole other conversation, and I've done videos on it, but please don't think because I'm not saying after every single item make sure you apply your SPF. I'll put that as a standard in the description as well to keep everyone happy. The next one is pretty infamous now and has come a long way since we found it, well, since I found it on a shelf in Fubert's place. It is the infamous, beautiful Pixie Skin Treats Glow Tonic, or PGT as I call it for short. This one, along with the First Aid Beauty, is one that I think you can use a bit more regularly than some of the others are recommended. And this one, is aloe vera, witch hazel, horse chestnut, glycolic acid, ammonium glycolate, which always reminds me at the end of Legally Blonde, where she knows that she did it because Chelsea was lying about being in the shower with the perm. And anyway, £18, and as of today, so for you it'll be tomorrow, so yesterday, so as of yesterday, Pixie Glow Tonic is on sale in Liberty in London. Well done, Liberty. Two left, worlds apart. One is a huge tub, which seems a bit excessive for packaging. Radical Skincare Age Defying Exfoliating Pads. Good name, Age Defying. Apply one pre-moisten single-use Age Defying exfoliating pad nightly after cleansing. These ones are quite textured again. They're not as textured as the Malin & Gertz or the Origins, but they do still have a slightly more abrasive side and then a smooth side. The Radical is aloe vera, glycolic acid, coffee, salicylic acid, resveratrol, good ingredient. Anyway, so Radical's fairly new. Obviously it's been in the UK for, must be about a year and a bit, I think. And in general they have some very good products. I'm not too sure about the 400% stronger than other products claim, because I think the testing that they use is flawed and has been disregarded by the EU and the FDA. So it's kind of a bit of a, don't say it, I cringe when I hear their staff saying it on counter, if I'm honest. When I hear them say, oh, we're 400% more, what is it, 400% more effective than other brands, and I just want to jump in and go, I think you'll find you're not. But very nice pads, and the joy of this one is that you get 100. So they may be a tad more expensive than the others, but you get more. The last one is Zellen's. This, if you've been watching this whole video and thinking, well, there's nothing I can use because I'm allergic to this and I'm allergic to that, there's no glycolic in the Zellen's pads. Marco Lenz doesn't like glycolic. He says in general it's a cheap acid and there are betters. There are better ones to use. PHA BioPeel. These are polyhydroxy acids. They're a very soft, slightly suede effect cotton pad. And again, you can use them AM and PM, and they will prep the skin, as is the whole point of every acid here, is to prep the skin to make sure that everything else you put on afterwards absorbs properly. 50 pads in this one, and polyhydroxy acids work differently to the others in that they will act as a humectant on the skin, i.e. anything you use over it will be held to the skin almost like a magnet. And the Zellen's pads are perfect if you have a glycolic allergy, because you know, most people when you say acid you immediately assume it's going to be glycolic. So these are for you if you have issues in that area. That is 20 odd minutes of acid talking, and there's so much more I could say. I won't stop doing videos on acids just because I've done one or two to show you this lot. There's loads more. I will try and put some together. I'm going to just keep them coming regularly, well, until you shut me down, but keep them coming regularly with more info as new ones are released. And I will try and do some specified videos where I'm only talking about maybe 3 or 4 items and they're shorter but a bit more detail about that particular item. I would ask you to bear with me. As I've said before, it's a wonderful hobby stroke part-time job. It's not what I do full-time. I have to work, I have a big family, and it's not excuses, it's just facts. I don't have a lot of time to put to do more videos and to do tons and tons of ingredients. And you know, it makes me laugh when people will ask underneath an Instagram comment or something, where can I buy this? Maybe you could Google it. I'm sorry, but maybe you could Google it. I know, I feel terrible saying it, but what, no. I do my best. I will try and keep them coming. I hope you enjoy, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.